Hello, everybody. It's Robert. Welcome back to another version of strat-o-matic replay. Again, I want to thank everybody who's been watching my replays and hope you're enjoying a lot out of them. And it's another year that's passed by, and now we go to the year 1914. 1914 is a bit of a special year. World War I begins during this time. But here in America, we still got baseball going in full swing. And at this time, we're still in the dead ball era, but we're getting closer to what is called the live ball era. We're still a few years away from that, and that's going to be fun when we get there. The year 1914 is known for a number of things. Okay, as you can take a look here, you can see that the Philadelphia Athletics and the upstart Boston Braves won the National League that year, and we look here and see that it was the Braves who actually beat the Philadelphia Athletics 4-0 in the 1914 World Series. It was enough where Connie Mack basically got the heck out of there and said, you know what, I think it's time to create the Federal League. Well, whatever. We all know how that league worked out, right? The year 1914 is known for a couple of special things. It's known for Ty Cobb, as you can see, who again led the league in average. Jake Dalbert of Brooklyn did that for the National League. Gavy Kravitz hit 19 home runs in that league. Walter Johnson again led everything, and Pete Alexander had the most strikeouts in the National League. I mean, really, 1914, just looks like another pretty great baseball season. But 1914 is also known for the first year of someone who came into baseball, and I don't know. I don't really think he's going to amount to anything, but I guess if you talk about him, I guess you'll know who I'm talking about. He started with the Boston Red Sox, and he started as a young pitcher. I heard he had some hitting power, He could hit a few out the park once in a while, and he actually could throw a few strikeouts. Okay, yes, we're all talking about, in my opinion, probably the best baseball player that ever lived, and that would be Babe Ruth. Now, before I get into the replay, I just want to share my opinion on Babe Ruth. Why do I believe Babe Ruth is the best baseball player in history? The reason why is because, or should I say maybe he's the Michael Jordan of baseball. He changed the game. You have game changers in all major sports. Michael Jordan changed basketball. Wayne Gretzky changed hockey. Okay. Joe Montana changed offense in football, and Lawrence Taylor changed defense in football. Okay. They were all game changers. The sports are what they are today because of those people. Babe Ruth is not just a baseball legend. He's an icon. When you talk about baseball, probably the first person that stands up is Babe Ruth. Now, let's not take anything away from players such as Willie Mays, maybe the greatest overall player in baseball history. Let's not take anything away from Ted Williams, maybe the greatest pure hitter in history. Let's not take anything away from Hank Aaron. Let's not take anything away from Barry Bonds. Forget the steroids. Okay, let's not take anything away from Roger Clemens. Let's not take anything away right now from players such as Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, who will be going in, who could retire right now and go in the Hall of Fame. Let's not take anything away, from, let's not take anything away from any of these other great players, who have now played baseball in completely different eras. To me, I just have to go with Babe Ruth. I just have to. And today I want to do a special ball game, and the date is today's date is July 11th, 1914, and we're going to go to Fenway Park, and tonight we're going to see Babe Ruth pitch for the very first time. This is his first outing as a pitcher with the Boston Red Sox. They are home against the Cleveland Naps, and we're going to watch this first baseball game of Babe Ruth. I know a lot of people will not agree with everything I've spoken about with Babe Ruth, thinking he is the greatest in history, and I'm not even a Yankee fan. I'm a Mets fan, okay? But to me, there really was no slugger like Babe Ruth. Just like there was no pitcher like Roger Clemens. Just like there was no pitcher, in my opinion, the greatest left-hander that ever pitched baseball, Sandy Koufax. Okay? Not to take anything away from Warren Spahn. Okay? I mean, like I said, a lot of you will have a lot of disagreements. A lot will argue with me with this. I completely understand. Okay? There are just so many great baseball players out there. It's so difficult to choose the best player overall. Okay? It's so difficult. But tonight, we're going to talk about Babe Ruth, and that's who we're going with tonight. And it's going to be a lousy day for baseball. I'm going to manage Babe Ruth in this game, so I'm going to play the Red Sox at Fenway. So let's get to it.
Welcome to the stadium for today's ball game.
Welcome back to Fenway Park for today's game between the Cleveland Naps and the Boston Red Sox. The year is 1914. And there you can see on a baseball card a very young Babe Ruth. And let's take a look at his first card. Babe Ruth, in the year 1914, 2 wins, 1 loss, a 3.91 ERA, 3 starts. Well, am I expecting him to pitch like he did? Who knows how strat-o-matic's going to play this out. But he's pitching against a pretty good baseball team, the Cleveland Naps. Let's get started, shall we? Let's play ball. Leading off for the Naps is going to be Jack Graney. And Graney, it's a fly ball to center, and Speaker will make the catch. And for those of you who maybe have watched my 1912 replay, the first ever game at Fenway Park, there was some excitement in that game. So are we going to have another exciting game at Fenway? Who knows? Here's Terry Turner leading off for next batter for Cleveland. And he pop flies out the Yerkes at second, 2 men down. And, oh, look who it is. Well, there's another player we can talk about. You want to talk about the Willie Mays of his day? I submit to you, Shoeless Joe Jackson. In 1914, 338 average, 3 homers, 53 runs batted in. He would be the Willie Mays of his day, Shoeless Joe Jackson. So before there really was Babe Ruth, there was this guy. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely, people. And that's why I always state that even though the steroid situation is so bad with the baseball writers for putting in the players such as Bonds, Clemens, Palmeiro, whatever, do they deserve to go in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Will they? No. But I will say this: if any of those players ever get elected to Baseball Hall of Fame, Pete Rose and the ghost of Shoeless Joe Jackson better be waiting for them at the front door. So let's see what Jackson does in 1914. Enough talk. Let's roll. Ground ball to second to Yerkes. And he makes an error. Look at that. So Jackson will go to first. And that will bring up Nap LaJoie. Okay. Shoeless Joe Jackson batting third. And then Nap LaJoie batting right behind him. Okay. Let's see what the Napster does. He grounds out to second. Bottom of the first inning for the Boston Red Sox. Let's take a look who's pitching for the Naps. And that will be Willie Mitchell. In 1914, 12 wins, 17 losses, 3.19 ERA. Let's see what he brings to the plate for Cleveland. Leading off, of course, for the Red Sox will be Olaf Henriksen. Henriksen goes ahead. It's a ground ball right back to Mitchell. Throws it over to first for the out. And that will bring up Everett Scott. Scott grounds out to LaJoie at second for the second out. And now here is Tris Speaker, the hero of the 1912 replay. Let's have a look at this Hall of Famer. 1914, 338 average, 4 homers, and 90 runs batted in. Tris Speaker, just another baseball legend. Let's see what he does. He grounds one to Kirky at first. He will make the play and retire the side. Second inning, no score. Here's Jay Kirky, who will lead it off for Cleveland. He hits a fly ball to Speaker, who will make the catch, and that will bring up Ray Chapman. Chapman grounds one to Yerkes. Yerkes will make the play. That's the second out. And now here is Nemo Leibold. Strike out. Bottom of the second. Larry Gardner will lead it off for the Boston Red Sox. He grounds one to Chapman at first, and he commits an error, so that puts Gardner on at first base. And that will bring up Hal Janvrin. Gardner, not really a threat to steal. Janvrin does the ability to hit and run, but I'm going to let him swing away. The hit and run is on, and it's a fly ball to center. Liebold makes the play, and that's the first out. And I'm surprised the computer did the hit and run. I might have this wrong. Let's have a look here. Let's get back to game preferences. And yeah, Boston, no, I want to manage them. So I mistake there, but that'll be good. Cleveland will manage it. And now we'll bring up Wally Reg. Reg lines out to Chapman at short for the second out. And now here's Steve Yerkes for the Red Sox. Yerkes drives the ball to center for extra bases. Yes, we're going to send the lead runner. Third base coach give the green light. And Yerkes comes up with the double. And it is the Red Sox scoring first here at Fenway, 1-0. A bad day here at Fenway Park. No home runs either, huh? I don't know. I still think that green monster can be tamed as usual. Here's Bill Carrigan with a runner on second for the Red Sox. An intentional walk is issued. And now here is Babe Ruth to come up for his first ever Major League at bat. And let's take a look at him. And now, of course, it shows the pitching record, but doesn't show the batting record. But you can see by the card that is being used for Babe Ruth. He can, as long if it falls into a 6, he's going to get himself a hit somewhere. All right, so let's see what he does in his first ever at bat in Major League Baseball history. And he walks. The bases are loaded, and that will bring up Henriksen. So bases loaded, 2 men out, and here's the pitch. It's a walk. He walks in a run. 2-0 now, Boston Red Sox. And now we have Everett Scott. Uh-oh. That's going to be a clean double. Scott drives the ball to center for bases. Ruth and Kerrigan will score. Yes, we'll send the lead runner. Double for Scott. And it's now a 5-0 game. So it looks like Willie Mitchell of the Cleveland Naps is not going to have one of those days. Scott is on second. Here is Tris Speaker. And Birmingham is hitting the mound, and he's going to bring a new pitcher. So we chase the Naps pitcher, and it's going to be Alan Collmore in 1914. 3 wins, 7 losses, a 3.25 ERA. And let's see what he does. Here's Speaker. Speaker, it's a fly ball to left. Graney makes a catch. And what a big inning. Boston Red Sox 5, Cleveland Naps 0. Third inning. Here is Steve O'Neill. Neal hits a single to left. That's the first base hit for the Naps. Henriksen will toss it in. And now here's Alan Collmore. He squares the bunt. The bunt's good. O'Neill goes to second. And now coming up for Cleveland will be Jack Graney. Graney hits a single to center. Speaker is going to make the play. O'Neill is going to hold at third. So runners at first and third, 1 out. And here's Terry Turner. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Can Janren make the play? Yes, he can. The run does come in to score. Graney advances to second. It's 5-1. So Babe Ruth gets tagged for his first ever run. And now here is Shoeless. Split card comes up a single. Graney will take third. Runners at first and third now. And now here's Nap LaJoie. I still think that's intimidating. You get Shoeless, and then you get Nap. Here's the pitch. That one is a base hit. Graney scores from third. Jackson takes second. It's now 5-2. And now here's Jay Kirk. Kirk pops out to third to end the inning. Boston 5, Cleveland 2, bottom of the third. And here's Larry Gardner. I would like to state, however, historically, Babe Ruth did win this game. And this is going to be a fly out to center. Liebold will make the catch, 1 out. And now we'll bring up Hal Janvrin. There's a base hit to Graney in left. The Red Sox get a man on first. And now we'll see Wally Reg. Passed ball. Janvrin goes to second. And Wally Reg is still the batter with 1 out. Let's see what he does. Ground ball to Chapman at short. He will make the play. 2 men away. And now we'll see Steve Yerkes. This could be good. And it is. Double for Yerkes. Janvrin scores from second. It's now 6-2 Boston Red Sox. If anything, the Red Sox are giving Babe Ruth a lot of run support. Here's Bill Carrigan. Carrigan grounds one to LaJoie at second, and he doesn't make many errors. Side retired. Boston 6, Cleveland 2. Top of the 4th inning here at Fenway Park. Unfortunately, not a great day for baseball. Here's Ray Chapman to lead off. There's a fly ball. Speaker will make the catch, 1 out. And it will bring up Leibold. Leibold grounds one to Janvrin at first, makes the play, 2 men away. And the batter now will be Steve O'Neill. This is going to be a fly out to left. Henriksen makes the play. 3 up and 3 down, a good inning for Babe Ruth. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. And speaking of the Babe, here he is. And he gets a base hit. Babe Ruth, his first ever major league hit. He will go to first. Congratulations on the Babe. That's going to be his first, of course, of, well, many. And trust me, we'll be seeing Ruth many times. Here is Olaf Henriksen, the next batter. He grounds one to Turner at third. They'll get the out at first, but Ruth will go to second. Ruth, of course, is not a threat to steal. And now the batter is Everett Scott with 1 out. There's a fly ball to center. Leibold is caught. Ruth has a chance to move up, and he's going to stay right where he is. And that will bring up, and when you got Tris Speaker to come up the bat, you better let him take his hacks. And they're not going to let him. They're going to walk him. Runners at first and second, and now they'll pitch to Larry Gardner. He is 0 for 2, but a run scored. And strike out. We go to the 5th inning. Here is Alan Collymore. And it's a pop fly ball to Scott at short. Makes the catch, 1 away. And now we will see Jack Graney. Graney pops one to Gardner at third. 2 men down. And now we have Terry Turner. And there's a ground ball to Gardner at third. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 5th. Hal Janvrin will lead it off for the Red Sox. Strike out, 1 man down. And now we'll bring up Wally Reg. Reg lines one out right to Chapman, squeezes it. He makes a number of errors, Chapman, but his range is good. That's the 2nd out, and now we will see Yerkes for the Red Sox. And there's a line out to Turner. So the Red Sox go up and down, 3 up and 3 down as well. We go to the 6th. Here's Shoeless. Single, of course. Shoeless Joe Jackson, just as I said, the Willie Mays of his day. He was the best. He was the best. If you had the best player during the dead ball era, that was him. I mean, not to take anything away from Nap LaJoie, Christy Mathewson, Ed Delahanty, and of course some of these players you probably never heard about. Some of you I know are pretty. If you play with strat-o-matic baseball, some of them you might be young enough where you've never heard of these players before. Okay, some of you might be my age, 47, that have known, of course, about baseball history and know about these great players. Nap LaJoie is the batter to lead off the top of the 6th for the Naps. And that looks like that's going to be a double. So LaJoie is going to drive the ball to center for extra bases. Runners now at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And now Jay Kirk will bat. There's a fly ball to Speaker. The run does score. LaJoie stays at 2nd. It's now 6-3. And now the batter for Cleveland is Ray Chapman. That's going to be a line out right to 2nd. Yerkes with a heck of a play. And now we got Nemo Leibold. And he walked them. So now you have runners at 1st and 2nd. Steve O'Neill is the batter for Cleveland. And he's clutch. He's 1 for 2 with a run. Let's see if Babe Ruth can get him out. And it's a ground ball right back to him. He will make the play. Babe Ruth comes up big. Boston 6, Cleveland 3, bottom of the 6th inning. Here is Bill Kerrigan to lead off for the Red Sox. Clean single to center. Leibold makes the play. Kerrigan up. Now Babe Ruth is up. Now, normally I would let Babe Ruth swing away. Should I bunt with him or not? What do you guys think? Would I bunt with the pitcher up there? Any other pitcher, I, of course, would throw in the bunt. Babe Ruth, here's the pitch. There's a ground ball right back to Collymore. Collymore commits the error. So he doesn't get the hit, but that's an error. That's the 2nd error on the Naps. And now you got runners at 1st and 2nd. Ruth has an on-base percentage of 1. So basically, he has been on base every single game, every single time at bat with 1 error, 1 hit, and 1 walk. Here's Olaf Henriksen. He walks. Bases are loaded now for Everett Scott. And I always like to take a look and see Well, let's have a look at Everett Scott. 1914, 239 average, 2 homers, normal power, so he could probably hit one, even on a bad day, wet day like today. He grounds one to Chapman at the shortstop, and it's a 6-2-3 double play. The run does not come in. And now we have Tris Speaker. Well, Tris, I remember in the 1912 replay, I know what you did. And they're going to walk him. And I don't blame Cleveland on that. Here's Larry Gardner. Can he come through in a clutch? Nope. That's going to be a ground out to retire the side. 6 innings have gone by. The Boston Red Sox lead the Cleveland Naps 6-3. Here at Fenway Park, we go to the top of the 7th. Babe Ruth looks like I think he can still go for a while. Here's Alan Collmore. And we're going to have a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Ivy Olson. Let's have a look. Ivy Olson in 1914, 242 average and a homer and 20 RBIs. Let's see how Ruth pitches to him. That's a single to Speaker at center field. So Cleveland gets the leadoff batter on. And now you're going to see Jack Graney. That's a strikeout, one away. And now the batter is Terry Turner. And he walks him. So now you got runners at first and second. And the ever-dangerous Shoeless Joe Jackson up with 1 out. Let's have a look and see if he's... let's see how Ruth's doing here. Let's check, see how he's doing. He says he's okay. I think we ought to give him the benefit of the doubt with to see if he can get out of this inning. Let's go. Here's the pitch to Jackson. Jackson grounds one to Yerkes, over to Scott, back to Janvrin, double play. Babe Ruth comes through in the clutch on a grounds out, makes Jackson ground out. That is not easy to do. Let's have a look here in the trivia question. In 1968, this Dodger pitcher established a record for most consecutive scoreless innings pitched by a righty with 58. It has since been broken in the 1980s. Who set this record? Well, that would, of course, be Don Drysdale. Don Drysdale, heck of a pitcher for the Dodgers. I always like to say, though, the Dodgers, in my opinion, still at one point had the best left-hander ever, and that was Sandy Koufax. I can't wait till we get to the 60s, people, because it's going to be a lot of fun doing Dodger games, and, of course, Yankee games, and, of course, Met games. But we got a long way to go, don't we? We're only in 1914, so let's get back to this game. Hal Janvrin will lead off in the bottom of the 7th for the Red Sox. And there's a fly ball to left field. Graney will make the play. That's 1 out. And now it'll be Wally Reg. That's going to be a fly out to right. Jackson makes the catch. And now here's Steve Yerkes. Yerkes, it's another fly ball to Jackson at right. And for a great place for him, we're pretty much normal. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 8th. And here's Nap LaJoie. Let's see how good Babe Ruth can keep it going. LaJoie grounds one to Yerkes at second, throws it over to Janvrin at first, 1 out. And now here's Jay Kirk. Kirk hits a single to center. Speaker will have to throw it back in. And now there is man on first. And you've got Ray Chapman coming up for Cleveland. And let's check him out. Let's see if he's got shows any fatigue. Let's have a look. Let's visit the mound. And he says he is fatigued. Okay, so I think we got to bring in a new pitcher. Babe Ruth did a heck of a game, did very, very well, but it is time to bring him out. Chapman is a righty, so let's see what we can do here. Let's see who we can bring in. Let's see, how about, let's see here, what we got. I think we'll bring in let's bring in Bedient. Coming on to pitch now for the Boston Red Sox will be Hugh Bedient. Don't know really anything about him. In 1914, 8 wins, 12 losses, 16 starts. He's got a couple of saves, so he can come in through relief. Let's see what he does here. Ray Chapman, the hit and run is on. Ground ball to third base. Can Gardner make the play? Yes, he makes the play. 5-4-3 double play, and the Red Sox get out of the inning. Bottom of the 8th. And here is Bill Kerrigan, who will lead it off for the Red Sox. And that is a strikeout. And that will bring up Hugh Bedient. And I'll let him bat. He hits a ground ball to third. Can Turner make the play? Yes, he can. Over to Kirk at first for the second out. And now it'll bring up Olaf Henriksen. And that is going to be a ground out to the pitcher to retire the side. We go to the top of the ninth. The Boston Red Sox lead 6-3 over the Cleveland Naps, trying to get Babe Ruth his first ever Major League win here at Fenway Park. And here's Nemo Leibold. Let's have a look. What we got here? We got a lefty, and then we got two rights. I'm going to let Bedian pitch. Let's see what he does. There's a fly ball to center. Speaker makes the catch, one down. And now we have Steve O'Neill. O'Neill strikes out, 2 men down. And the batter now for Cleveland will be Abe Bowman. Last chance for the Naps. And he brings in, and looks like Joe Birmingham's going to bring a new batter. It's going to be Johnny Bassler. Johnny Bassler in 1914, a 182 average. 6 RBIs, no homers. And I guess he's just bringing him in to try to get something going here. So let's see what he does. This is to get the win for Ruth. And he walked him. So it's going to have to be another batter, and that will bring up Jack Graney for Cleveland. Now a runner at first, 6-3. Let's see what Bedian can do. Here is the pitch. That's a ground ball to short. Scott's got it over to Yerkes for the force, and that's the ball game. So the Boston Red Sox defeat the Cleveland Naps 6-3, and that gives Babe Ruth his first ever Major League win. Let's take a look at here at the box score. And let's see here. There you go. Babe Ruth picks up the win. Bedian gets the save. Willie Mitchell takes the loss. He only lasted an inning and 2/3. For the Boston Red Sox, Steve Yerkes was 2 for 4, had 2 RBIs. Babe Ruth was 1 for 2, but we actually got on base all 3 times he came to the plate on an error and a single and a walk. So I guess they already knew there was something special about Babe Ruth, and he certainly came through. Let's take it here. Let's see what they got here. Hugh Bedian is for a save. In the bottom of the second inning, Boston scored 5 runs. The early scoring was all that Babe Ruth needed, and Boston had just 6 hits for the afternoon. Yeah, they only scored 6 hits. There were some errors, though. Chapman, Collimore, and Yerkes made some, but it all worked out well for the Red Sox as they get their first ever win for Babe Ruth. So let's give him some congratulations. Again, I want to say, as I've said before, I think he was the best baseball player in history because he totally changed the game. As I said, I know a lot of you are going to say, no, it was Mays, it was Aaron, it was Williams, it was Garrick, it was, it was Ricky Henderson. I mean, there's so many. I mean, there are just, it was Ripken. It was so many great baseball players in history. How do you really say who was the best ever? It's a really difficult question to answer. But to me, that's got to be Babe Ruth. Hey, everybody, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you for the next season in 1915. Once again, the final score here from Fenway. The Boston Red Sox over the Cleveland Naps, 6-3. Babe Ruth gets his first ever Major League win. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.